get started on the video, I'd like to ask you guys to go ahead and hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button and hit the notification checkbox. That way you guys don't miss any future uploads from me and you become part of the notification squad. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video.
What's up, people of YouTube? This is really bringing you guys another video to my channel, and today we are going to discuss some things that appear to be cut from Call of Duty World War II before its launch, or supposedly was cut. Maybe it was removed for other purposes, but we're going to discuss all of that in this video, and you guys can come to your own conclusion for yourself. I'll give you guys my opinion on what I think is happening exactly with this and how it worries me, or where we go from here. I think is kind of a big part of the future in Call of Duty. So first off, I'm going to list off the least important things to the most important things. And starting off, we have some perks that appear to have been cut from Call of Duty World War II. It appears that originally they were going to do your typical perk system. So there's things like Blind Eye, Awareness, Fast Hands, Tac Mask, Engineer, Sixth Sense, Dead Silence, Scavenger, Anti-Up, Gung Ho, and Ghost. Those aren't such a big deal. I mean, it appears that obviously they wanted to do the traditional perk system at first with this game, and they decided not to. This isn't too worrisome, in my opinion. I don't think that this is going to lead to anything too horrible. We're not going to get like DLC perks, more than likely. I don't think that's something that will happen. But moving into the things that do kind of concern me and things that can be major issues, is starting off with the maps. So there are cut maps from Call of Duty World War II. You guys probably already know that there was originally supposed to be more maps that just kind of never showed up, and those maps are Wolf's Lair, Paris, and Castle. Now what's interesting about Paris is that it was a Resistance remake, and there's a thought process behind this that makes me wonder if they cut it because in Infinite Warfare there was a remake for the map Resistance for Modern Warfare 3, and maybe they just didn't want to duplicate the same map in two games right after each other for DLC. That's always a possibility, but I think it's more likely that these three maps also happen to be the first three maps for the first DLC coming out on January 30th, which happens to be called, I think, Resistance, which is kind of worrisome. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully that's not what's happening, and maybe they cut these maps for completely different reasons, because that's really dirty and really scummy of them to do that. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. So the next thing, the big one, the one that really worries me, is the next category. Not only does it worry me, but it kind of excites me, which goes to show that it's a double-edged sword. It's something that the Call of Duty community itself wants, and they also don't want at the same time, I feel like. And a lot of people are really good about not admitting that they want it, even though they make videos or might proclaim on the internet that they don't want it. Like, I don't know how to explain. Anyways, there are a lot of guns that appear to have been cut from Call of Duty World War II. I think that we can all agree that in some categories the weapons are lackluster. I think there's a lot of very infamous weapons from the World War II time period that are just completely missing. There's a lot of Pacific weapons that are not here. There's other guns within the, you know, the side between the Americans and the Germans that are not there. Like, there's just a lot missing. Some of those guns are right here. I'll just go down the list. I'll probably put pictures up on screen so you guys can see exactly what the gun looks like. And I'm worried that every single one of these guns will come into DLC. They will come into the supply drop system, and I'll talk a little bit more on that after I tell you guys what guns they are. So the first one here is the Arasaka, which is a sniper rifle, I do believe. The next one here is a Beretta, the Beretta 30 LMG, the Enfield pistol, Gruer 43, or Gewer, I don't know how you pronounce that, P38, Type 5, the trench knife, and the Sten. So these are all pretty big guns. They're all a pretty big deal. These are weapons that a lot of them you would think were going to be in the game. I would have assumed the Arasaka would have been in there. The revolver would have been in there. The Gewer 43 would have been in there. The trench knife. Like, we legitimately don't have a knife in the game. That is unheard of for Call of Duty. The Sten. I thought that these guns would have been in there for sure, but they're not. And so I think it's pretty likely that these will be coming to DLC for Call of Duty World War II, and I hope that they go through this the smart way. I hope that they take the good of Infinite Warfare supply drop system and the good of Modern Warfare Remastered supply drop system, which appears that they have, although the duplicate value seems to be really low. Not a fan of that. But the collection system is cool. I'm a fan of that. And I hope that they give the guns away, the base version of the gun. I hope they give it away through either a small challenge or free to supply or free to season pass holders. I think that is the best way to go about doing this, and I really, really hope that that's what they do. I honestly can't say that they will, but I think that they're going to milk this really, really hard. I was expecting to get a kind of, not the fairest supply drop system. I figured we were going to get a supply drop system that was not as good as MWR's, and it wasn't quite as good as IW's. And the reason why I think that is because, and the reason why I think that could still happen, is because IW was kind of a dud year. I feel like Activision was really pulling a lot of their money from Black Ops 3. And I think that Black Ops 3's life cycle is officially over. I don't think we're going to see any more DLC. I don't think we're going to see any more guns. I think that the train is fully riding on World War II. And if they don't pull money from the supply drop system, because they know how much money it can make, regardless of how the fans feel about it, I feel like on their end, they're going to be like, oh, this is just a dumb business move not to do this. So they're going to have every opportunity just to throw these in supply drops, not give out any guns for free, but put them in the collections, but make it really hard to get enough salvage or whatever it's called in this game to actually purchase them through collections, if that makes sense. So technically there's a way there to get the guns, but you're only going to be able to get maybe one or two throughout the lifespan of playing Call of Duty World War II for the most average players, without buying, COD points or whatever their currency is going to be in order to purchase supply drops with legitimate money. And that's what I'm really worried about, because last year they had 3 Call of Duties, one of which was carrying both on its back. MWR, I think, was doing pretty well with their supply drops. I liked their system. I also liked how IW gave out the guns for free to season pass holders and through a challenge for non-season pass holders. But I do not think that it is going to be fair enough for their only Call of Duty that is being pushed this year to have the fairest supply drop system that we have seen yet. I don't think that's likely. I don't think that's a smart business move, and I'm not a business person, and if I realize that, then Activision certainly does. So with all that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. That was basically all I really wanted to talk about. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Also, if these guns are going to come to supply drops, tell me what gun that I listed and showed you would be the most excited to actually get your hands on. Also, let me know what you think about the Resistance remake. Do you want to see that happen? Do you wish for it not to be a remade map? Because honestly, at this point, it's become kind of a tradition to remake a map or two with every Call of Duty. I think at one point, maybe with every single supply or every single map pack, we were getting a remade map. And would you like that tradition to continue? Because honestly, if we stay on that path, we're only getting 2 new maps. And I know that sounds weird because there's a war map, but in my head, as much as I like war, I mean, you're seeing war gameplay right now, I'm not the biggest fan of the concept of war maps counting as actual maps themselves. You can't play domination on them. You can't play just TDM. Like, you can only play it one way. And making it so that way those count as actual maps isn't really fair. So if they're remaking a map with every single map pack, that makes it kind of feel like we're only getting 2 new maps with every map pack that comes out, and I'm not a huge fan of that. But I would like to see a Resistance remake for a Boots on the Ground Call of Duty. I think that would be really cool. I think I might have played the Resistance remake last year one time. One time. I didn't even download all of the Infinite Warfare map packs. I don't think I downloaded the last 2. I'm pretty sure. Or no, I downloaded the third one because it had the zombies on it that I really liked. But basically, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, comment all that stuff down below, and deuces.